Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Sunday, September 23rd, 2018 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi. Our energy mantra for today is I come into balance within myself. I almost said it was 2016. Oh my goodness. Can we just go back these last couple of years and all of the craziness that's gone on? I don't think that's going to work. But today I'm going to get deeper into Sun in Libra. Just realize that today we're building into the full moon. The full moon is happening later in the evening on Monday and early on Tuesday for some people in the world. So definitely get into that in tomorrow's scope, but just realize that right now we are building in the intensity of the feelings that come up. And it's so interesting that full moon is in Aries, which balances the Libra energy because it brings us back to ourselves. And I want to get into the Sun in Libra, but that's one of the big themes I feel like in and through this energy as we build into this full moon and as we have the Sun opposite Chiron. And it's remembering the relationship with the self, remembering the self even as we live in a world that is so relationship oriented. You know, and I really do believe that we are here not to just be completely one unto ourselves. And I mean that in the way like we are here to be called to our soul and be true to our soul, but we're also not here to be a hermit, which is funny because my card represents hermitage, but we are here to, you know, work with others, celebrate with others, live with others, and yet that's one of the things that sometimes happens. And this is one of the lessons of Libra that we have to be really vigilant of. Sometimes what happens is we get so focused on the other that we start surrendering ourselves, or I've got a crazy kitten right next to me, or suppressing the self or hiding the self in order to fit in order to be united. We don't always speak our truth. We don't always be as true to ourselves as we can be. Kitten therapy. So we are being called in this time of Sun in Libra to balance the yin and the yang within ourselves, and to come into that truth, come into that balance, come into that place where we are okay, at harmony, in harmony within ourselves, instead of focusing so extremely on the harmony outside of ourselves, because that will come the more we find that balance within ourselves. So there is this strong feeling as we build into this full moon and as the Sun opposes Chiron, healing the relationship within the self, the balance of the yin and the yang within the self, so that you can relate in a world that is full of relations, okay? So let's dig into Libra. Sun in Libra. Libra is the sign of partnership, relationship, and it's not just relationship in romantic sense. It is relationship with anybody, relating to anybody, friends, family, coworkers, your neighbors, you know, the person down the street, the person who shares your bloodline across the world, you know, relationships of all kinds. Balance, center, coming into your own personal harmonic center. Venus energy, which rules Libra, loves, I have a kitten attacking my feet, beauty, pleasure, peace, all of those things. But again, we spend so much time seeking that in relating to the world. And this is a call to find that within ourselves and find that in our own personal center and balance, and yin and yang relating within ourselves. Justice. I think justice is a really interesting theme, especially in and through everything that's going on in the world. This time of Sun in Libra is definitely going to be fascinating because we are building into this Venus retrograde, and we will have Venus go retrograde during this time of Sun in Libra. And while sometimes people think like retrograde will take us out of like go offline or something, I don't think Venus is going offline. I think she's diving further under. I'm thinking like Inanna. I'm thinking this card that I have the Black Madonna card. I think that the yin energy is going deeper. Kitten. And so we are going to be called to go deeper into our yin, to embody the strength of that yin energy and bring that up and into balance with the yang. The yang will also be, interestingly enough, I feel like strengthened as we strengthen our yin. So this is the balance that we're coming into. But justice, as we go deeper into these places, deeper into our shadows, and also deeper into our light and power, I do think that we will come more into this energy of balance. But I also think justice will prevail. So be very aware of your sense of justice. My theme through this is definitely going to be balance and finding our balance first in ourselves and then out in the world, and especially finding that harmonic balance within rather than seeking that balance that is outside of ourselves. All right, so we have some interesting transits going on. I mentioned the sun opposite Chiron, definitely bringing up self-soul healing in amidst relating in the world. And here, the first transit that we have besides that really brings that to light. So we have Mercury now in Libra. So Mercury is helping us understand this all on that mental level. But Mercury in Libra is now going to be squaring Saturn direct in Capricorn. And, you know, that's one of the things. Libra can be pushed out of balance by society's demands. Libra can be pushed out of harmony because society's like, this is how you're supposed to live. This is what you should be doing. And Libra's like, but this is my harmony. This is my truth. This is my beauty. This is my balance. No, that is not okay by society. Now, society is getting a makeover, and that is happening with Saturn and Pluto moving through Capricorn. But we have to do our own personal makeovers and find that strength, that deep strength within ourselves. So you may have some tough conversations come up where society or a friend or somebody who you even have put in some level of authority can throw you out of your balance because of what they think of your life and what you should be doing according to them. Or you may be the authority. Be aware of that as well and in through this. Is there a place where you are holding that authority and telling somebody the shoulds of their life? You know, while I think it's a nice thing to ask for advice and to care about somebody, you know, everybody does have their own life path. And everybody, Libra energy, find your Libra energy in your chart and realize this is where you may have to stand strong. For me, Libra is in the 4th house. It is family. It is family stuff. And that's been one of my big lessons in and through this year. So just be very aware of that square. Moon in Pisces. Moon in Pisces moving on through, building us into this full moon energy. Veils are very thin. Lots of sacred, divine messages coming through, and the moon is going to meet up with Neptune. So that's definitely going to take your psychic inclinations up to the next level. And especially if you're struggling with some of these things that I brought up, tune in, listen deeper to yourself, to your own personal self-mastery for what you need at this time. Your work is always to follow your own heart, your own soul. That is your work as the master, is to tune into you and trust it. Moon is also going to connect with Pluto energy. Again, that Pluto energy connects with that society stuff, that Capricorn energy, because Pluto is moving through Capricorn. You can go your own way, and your soul is going to tell you if you listen in. Your work is to trust, and your work is to do as well, especially in this energy with the sun opposite Chiron, the healing that's necessary. Chiron still is perigee. Like, it's not exactly the closest part of the orbit, but it's close still. So this energy, this healing energy, is still up. And the more you recognize where these rifts are, the more you recognize where you do get pulled out of sorts, the more the healing's going to come. Mercury, after meeting up with Saturn, is then going to meet up with Mars. And Mars in Aquarius is definitely on board, especially when you find the vibration that you resonate with and you mentally focus on that. That is a powerful mixture. Mercury in Libra and Mars in Aquarius. This is also a great time for camaraderie with like-minded people. So especially if you do kind of get thrown out of your balance, that might be another way of finding your way in, is talking to somebody who isn't going to should you, who is going to support you on your life path and really tune into your truth of your soul. We end the day with the moon working with Jupiter. Ooh, deep energies. It's like there's so much light pulling us up and calling us into balance, and yet there is this deeper pull that's pulling us under. And I think this connects very closely to this Black Madonna card. I'm going to read some parts of this. The Black Madonna represents power we all have to emerge from the darkness transformed. Historians believe many of the icons are actually of the Egyptian goddess Isis and her son Horus, which were carried over from Egypt during the Crusades. Let's see. Jungian psychologist Marion Woodman, who's wonderful, believes that the Black Madonna represents a new awareness or consciousness towards the earth and our bodies. She represents the wisdom we can only acquire when we go through the often painful fires of transformation. In The Pregnant Virgin, Woodman relates that the only intensity of the fire can unite body and soul. Black Madonna helps us become conscious of the spirit in matter, of the light in the dark, and the intersection of sexuality and spirituality. So, for millennia, the body, the earth, all forms of matter have been devalued and misunderstood. The dark has been so vilified, yet all life emerges from the pitch-black womb. The darkness is potential. It is the crucial and elemental stage we must all go through to create new or more life. The Black Madonna is the emblem of deep wisdom, the profound consciousness that is inherent in all things. All living and created things are energy. The body has wisdom, the earth has wisdom, and the pain we experience as humans contains deep wisdom. You hear that? I'm going to read that again. The pain we experience as humans contains deep wisdom. When we are in the fires of suffering, it can be difficult to trust that gold is being forged. It can be hard to trust when we are in terrific pain that there is a process at work that will make us more authentic, more alive, and infinitely freer. It can be almost impossible to accept or notice the presence of divine when we are at our most human. The Black Madonna is the cauldron that holds us steadfastly as we endure the alchemy of integrating more soul into our existence. Yes, she's the promise that we don't survive the fires, that what doesn't survive the fires of suffering was never meant for us. And she is the presence that is there with us, even when we might feel the most alone, reminding us there is no darkness we can enter without being met by love. So she is the hermit, Our Lady of the Hermits, and says, "How is my solitude serving me?" I have a kitten nibbling on my toes. And the intention is I transform pain and suffering into a greater capacity to love. I was talking with people in my past lives group. This time is so intense. And I do think Venus in Scorpio going retrograde, Venus in Scorpio in general, but when it goes retrograde, is going to take us deeper into that intensity. Here's some kitten therapy for you. Lots of kitten love to help you through. And that's the thing, is there is enough love in the world for you. You are never going to be left and abandoned. But if you are feeling that, if you're feeling that in the darkness, tune into where maybe you're not showing up for yourself completely. Where have you abandoned yourself? Where have you given over your harmony to society or to family or something like that? And come bring yourself back into your wholeness, your holiness. That's why we start with Virgo and then move into Libra, because this relating thing is not easy. It's tough, and there's tons of conditioning that we're working through unwinding. So be cool, be gentle with yourself. I'm going to be doing Libra in and through the signs on my Patreon page, so you can go check that out. It is not up yet. It will probably be up tomorrow because I'm going to go explore a mountain lake. But check that out. And besides that, welcome to Libra. There is enough love in the world for you, and the better it gets, the better it gets. Namaste.